So let's talk about something that sounds almost too good to be true. What if a single policy change could create a ton of jobs, seriously boost our economy, and help the environment all at the same time? Well, it might all come down to one simple thing: the cost of electricity. Let's get into it.
I know, it sounds like a huge promise, right? But that's the big question we're tackling today. Could one single tweak to policy really kick off a positive ripple effect that touches everything from our economy to our green targets? Let's take a closer look. All right, so first things first, let's talk about the power problem. To really get the solution, we have to understand what's holding our manufacturers back in the first place. And for this really vital part of our economy, it all boils down to the power bill. When you think of manufacturing, it's easy to just picture smokestacks or big assembly lines, right? But it's so much more than that. This sector is truly the backbone of our economy. It's where real innovation happens, where good, stable jobs come from, and honestly, it's where our ability to compete on a global scale is really decided. So here's how it plays out. Think of high energy prices as a domino effect, but in the wrong direction. When electricity costs shoot up, production costs go right up with them. That puts a huge squeeze on profits, which means there's very little money left for the things that actually drive growth, like investing in new tech, expanding operations, or hiring more people. It basically puts the brakes on progress. Okay, so if high costs are a drag on everything, what happens when we flip that around? Let's get into the good stuff and unpack how lower costs can turn manufacturing into an even more powerful economic engine. See, a factory isn't just an island. It's more like the heart of a whole ecosystem. It's connected to a huge web of suppliers, trucking companies, and tons of local services. So when that factory at the center is healthy and growing, that good energy spreads to the entire network. And this is where you can really see that ripple effect kick in. It all starts with something simple. Lower electricity costs mean a factory has more cash on hand. So what do? They buy more materials, usually from local suppliers. All of a sudden, there's more work for truckers, more jobs pop up in warehouses, and local coffee shops and service providers get more business. That one little change at the factory literally energizes the whole community's economy. Okay, but this isn't just about what happens in our own backyards. We've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Our manufacturers are out there competing in a super tough global market, and energy costs play a massive role in whether they can win. The thing is, right now, our companies are kind of like runners starting a race with weights tied to their ankles. They're bogged down by costs that their international competitors just don't have to worry about. In a lot of other countries, governments step in to help keep energy costs low, giving their manufacturers a serious head start. And let me tell you, the stakes are incredibly high. On the one hand, with high energy costs, our products become more expensive, we risk losing jobs overseas, and we have a hard time convincing new companies to invest here. But on the other hand, if we lower those costs, the whole story changes. We get competitive pricing, we keep jobs right here at home, and our region suddenly becomes a super attractive place for new businesses. All right, so we've been talking a lot about jobs and money. But here's the twist you might not see coming. There's a really surprising environmental upside to all this. It turns out, helping a company's bottom line can actually seriously help the planet. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Let's be real. Investing in green tech costs money. When a company's budget is getting crushed by high energy bills, those awesome environmental upgrades become a luxury they just can't afford. The secret is to free up those resources so they can make the greener choice. Look, it really just boils down to simple budget math. Think of a company's budget as a pie. When a massive slice of that pie is gobbled up by energy costs, there's just a tiny sliver left for investing in green technology. But if you can shrink that energy slice, well, that capital can be put to work on sustainability. More money is freed up to make cleaner, smarter choices. And the environmental wins? Oh, they stack up pretty quickly. More companies can finally afford to install cleaner tech. That improves their overall energy efficiency. And all of that adds up to a smaller carbon footprint for our entire industrial sector. It's a huge step toward meeting our bigger environmental goals. So when you step back and look at all the pieces of the puzzle, the picture becomes incredibly clear. This isn't about making a trade-off between the economy and the environment. This is a genuine win-win. It's good for business, and it's good for the planet. So let's do a quick rundown. Who really benefits here? Well, the manufacturers, for sure. They become more competitive and more profitable. The communities benefit through more jobs and better economic health. And the environment benefits from a smaller carbon footprint.
It's one of those rare policies where pretty much everyone comes out ahead.
And at the end of the day, this goes so far beyond just helping a business's balance sheet. This is about the long-term health of our communities. It's about building a stronger, more resilient economy and a cleaner future for everyone who lives here. So that brings us to the big takeaway question. If lowering this one foundational cost can have such a massive positive impact, what other hidden levers are out there? What other simple changes could unlock the next big wave of growth and innovation? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer.